Most people don't know this, but hair transplants don't last forever because they don't solve the root issue of hair loss in the first place, which is lack of blood flow to the follicle. As we age, we lose up to 40% of the circulation in our scalp, which carries blood flow and vital micronutrients to the cells of the follicle. If the follicles don't have enough nutrients, they fall into a dangerous dormant phase until eventually they'll die if they don't get re-stimulated. It's sort of like a battery that loses its charge day after day, and eventually that battery will die unless you recharge it. All the hair transplant does is cover up the core issue, which is that lack of blood flow and micronutrients to the follicles. Which means as soon as that new transplant grows in, you're stuck with the same problem you had before, thinning every week, every month until that hair transplant, new hair, falls out again. When blood flow is weak, your follicles starve. They shrink, weaken, fall out, and eventually die. All a transplant does is simply move hair from one place to the other. But those newly transplanted hairs still end up in the same unhealthy environment, which is lacking those vital micronutrients. That's why so many people, unfortunately, don't understand this, and they say, hey, I'll take $15,000 that I have in my savings or put it on a credit card. I'll fly to a third world country that I've never been before. At least it'll be fixed forever, right? Unfortunately, that's not the case. But the people that you're paying $15,000 to, they're not going to be the ones to tell you. Why would they tell you that it's not going to last forever? That just ruined their payday. And then unfortunately, a couple months later, those newly transplanted hairs will start to thin, shed, go dormant, and eventually die again. And that's why so many people go for a second or even a third hair transplant, spending thousands and thousands more dollars because they didn't go into it with the correct understanding that it is not fixing the root issue. So here's what transplant clinics don't tell you, the part that nobody talks about. Hair transplant clinics actually prescribe Kure laser caps post-op to keep that newly implanted hair vibrant and healthy and make their patients even happier with the results after surgery, because they know those new grafts, they won't survive unless the blood flow issue is finally fixed. So they give patients these Kure laser cap devices to force more circulation into those newly implanted areas so the new hair doesn't die off, when in reality it was actually the new stimulation and increase of blood flow that kept the transplant hair healthy, not the hair transplant itself. Which is why I always tell people, why not start with the Kure laser cap and avoid an expensive hair transplant that sometimes can leave scars, head swelling, and other terrible side effects. The Kure laser cap actually solves the root issue. More blood flow, more oxygen, more micronutrients. The cells can deliver ATP, which is the powerhouse of those cells. Imagine it as a tiny battery. All it needs to do is get recharged and stimulate that follicle enough to kickstart it from a dormant phase back into a healthy growth phase, just like when we're younger. A natural hair cycle goes from growing to dormant and then back to growing, which is why all of us, even when we're young, we have thick, beautiful, healthy hair. We have hair fall out in the shower. That's part of that normal cycle. And then as we get older, we lose that scalp circulation. We start to not have hair that's healthy enough to go from dormant back into the natural hair growth part of the phase. And that's when you start to see clumps in the shower, more and more hair. And then eventually you start to see a receding hairline, and it's very frustrating. So this is how you bring a dormant hair follicle, a follicle stuck in the resting phase, back into the growth phase of that hair growth cycle, where it can actually and finally produce thick, vibrant hair just like nature intended. If it can't cycle, it can't grow, it gets stuck in dormancy and eventually dies. It's really that simple. And of course, doctors aren't going to help you understand this simplicity because they're selling you drugs that have been pushed on them by pharmaceutical reps to try to make more money month after month for these big pharmaceutical companies. So Kure restores that natural blood flow to your hair follicle safely and effectively without side effects, downtime, or a $15,000 price tag. And it actually uses the same medical grade laser technology that was first discovered by Harvard scientists and used by NASA to promote wound healing in astronauts in space. It's FDA cleared, and supported evidence includes 6+ clinical studies showing a 93% increase in hair regrowth. Look, when you improve blood flow by up to 50% of your scalp, good things happen. Your hair finally has a chance to grow and thrive and be healthy just like it was supposed to be. So what are your other options? Let's go a bit deeper. Let's talk about the most popular drugs on the market for hair loss: finasteride and minoxidil. And trust me, doctors and large institutional companies love pushing these drugs because they're cheap and you get stuck on them month after month after month, which provides stable cash flow for these giant behemoth companies. So why would they tell you that the FDA just released a terrible warning in April of 2025 talking about side effects like these: sexual dysfunction, suicidal thoughts, erectile issues, hormone imbalance, mood changes, brain fog, passing out? The list goes on, and these are terrible things that you want no part of. They're actually much worse and more dangerous for you than the hair loss itself. And like I keep coming back to, here's the main issue here, is they don't fix the root issue of the hair loss in the first place: the decrease in scalp circulation. They only change your hormone environment, which is a very slippery slope. So as soon as you stop taking them, within days or weeks, the hair sometimes falls out in clumps. You also experience hormonal imbalances, mood swings, not fun, and just proves that these medications were not good for you in the first place. And you'll start shedding again immediately because, again, they did not fix the underlying issue of the circulation and blood flow to your scalp. So let's recap. Minoxidil and Rogaine, they are just a temporary band-aid that tries to artificially force your hair growth to stay in the growth phase artificially without increase in blood flow. It doesn't improve blood flow at the follicle level. It doesn't repair the stem cells inside the dormant follicle. It doesn't restore proper oxygenation to the follicle and nutrient delivery. And the second you stop using it, your thinning and side effects continue or get worse. So how is Kir different? Kir solves the problem naturally and effectively by targeting the root of the issue, which is lack of blood flow to that follicle. That's where the stem cell of the follicle lives, at the root, which is where the hair cycle starts. And this is what Kir's exciting low-level laser light technology with precision clinical laser stimulation does. It stimulates cellular energy, or ATP. It expands blood vessels to improve circulation in the scalp. It carries more oxygen and nutrients to the hair follicles, and it recharges the stem cells that regulate your hair growth. And it even extends the anagen phase, which is the growth phase of your natural hair growth cycle. What does this mean? It means less shedding, more thickness, more density, new growth in thinning areas, and long-term hair growth stability as long as you continue with use a couple times a week. Look, you're not forcing the hair growth to stay in the growth phase artificially with hormones. This is the real deal. You're actually solving for the root problem and making those hair follicles healthy with plenty of blood flow, just like when we were younger. You're actually repairing the foundational environment of those hair follicles so they can grow and thrive. So how long do you have to use the Kir laser cap to see real results, and how long will you have to keep using it in the future? So I think about it like a treadmill. When you're starting your workout regimen, you need to be very, very committed day after day using it. The Kir laser cap is 6-minute treatments done from home. You can do it while doing the dishes, doing household chores, watching Netflix. Very, very simple. And fast forward, let's say 6, 7, 8 months, your hair is beautiful. You've got the results that you desired. Now, in order to maintain those results, just like if you're preparing for a marathon or to get in great shape with a treadmill, now you can ease off, maybe use it once or twice a week to stimulate that blood flow to those follicles, keep the nutrients in there, and keep your results. Now let's talk about something extremely important. Why should you take action now? Look, whether you've just started noticing thinning or you've thought about a transplant and you've looked at all other options that I've talked about here, you need to act immediately. And here's why. Because if you're seeing thinning, that means you've already lost 20 to 30% of your hair density. And some follicles have already entered that dormant phase we talked about earlier, which means that every month that you allow those follicles to stay in that dormant phase, they run the risk of eventually dying. And once they die, you can't bring them back. I tell people it's like witchcraft. You can bring something back from the brink of death, just like in the old Disney movies, but once it's died and crossed over, there's no bringing it back. So it's imperative that you start today, which again is no problem because Kir offers a 7-month money-back guarantee. So if you start today and don't see the results that you were hoping for in the first 7 months, you can return it for a full refund. So let's talk about when you'll see results. Most people that we've seen over the years start seeing much less shedding in the shower 2 to 3 weeks post starting with Kir. Fast forward to month 2, they're seeing much less shedding still, basically no shedding at that point. They're starting to see a bit more shine in their hair. Sometimes people will say that they experience tingling in the scalp, which means that oxygen-rich blood is moving in the scalp for the first time in a while, and people say that it kind of feels nice and warm and stimulating to them. By month 2, people notice baby hairs starting to fill in those problem areas. And by months 6 to 7, it is a major transformation. A lot of our customers have reported their salon or their friends that I haven't seen in a while think that they literally got a hair transplant. People are very, very happy. And like I said earlier, as long as you keep using it a couple times a week, that will stay and you've got natural results without any of the side effects we talked about with the other drugs. So no hormonal issues, no sexual dysfunction, no rash, no passing out. You've done it all naturally, just like nature intended. Look, Kjær isn't a new company. We've been around for 7 years and helped over 125,000 men and women just like you get rid of frustrating emotional hair loss and come out on the other side excited, especially that they did it naturally. So you can buy this for yourself, you can get it for a loved one, you can even get it for a pregnant or a postpartum mother who's dealing with hair loss. That's how I started this company, was when my wife had terrible postpartum hair loss and we could not find anything on the market that was healthy enough for her and baby. And it gives me chills to this day because we've helped so many people and it has become such a big passion of mine. And I just am so excited every day to get this in more people's hands to change their lives. I know we're doing good work here and I know it will help you. Again, Kjær's helped over 125,000 people to date. We've got an A rating on the Better Business Bureau, a 4.5 on Trustpilot. These things are hard to get in 2025. We really care about our customer service and our customers, and it shows up every single day. And this product is a medically cleared, FDA cleared device with 6+ clinical studies, again, showing multiple 93% success rate, increased density. The results speak for themselves completely without any side effects. This isn't hype. You don't have to take it from me. You can take it from the 125,000 people that we've helped over the last 7 years. You can take it from the clinically proven studies that we've been involved with. Clinics across the world are now prescribing our Kjær laser caps. And I'm excited to tell you that right now is the best time to buy because we just launched our Black Friday sale. You can save $400 off your Kjær device that you can't get any other time in the entire year. So now is the time. You've got a money back guarantee. You've got scientifically proven results. You've got 125,000 other people that have benefited from this. And if you take a chance on us today, we'll offer a money back guarantee. And in 7 months, if you don't see the results that we've promised, you can return it for a full money back refund. So again, if you've noticed hair thinning, remember you need to start early, catch it early. If this is for a loved one, they're worth it, you're worth it. Try today, click the link below and you will be excited. Take charge of your hair loss. Don't let it bother you anymore. Don't let it get under your skin. Take back control of your life and you'll be excited. Take care.